are based on my opinion compared to others. So if you have any comments or suggestions, go right ahead and leave them on. It's YouTube. Come on, man. Anyway, for starters, let's see here. Starting with the monsters, we got two Effect Veilers right here. I prefer to run two because, hey, it's tuning power. There goes a lot of the effects like Murmles for the turn and blah, blah, blah. You're going to attack me with a monster that's like Ancient Gears. I've seen Gears come back a little, and that will stop them from using their stupid traps. Negation thing, so Mirror Force and blah, blah, blah. Next, we got two Debris Dragons. I haven't been seeing much of these plays since a long time ago, but I found some very, very powerful combos. Plus, it's figured out, 2,000 defense beats those 1,900 beaters, Fire Fists, Murmles, and a couple other attackers like Giraffes and whatever else. Now we go on to the level 3 monsters. I replaced Dark Resonator for Night Assailant. Now people say, why Night Assailant? Why not Resonator? It's so much better, blah, blah, blah. Well, the reason I took out Resonator is I have 4 tuners now. I only need 4. I don't need a maximum of 5. That would just slow the deck down completely. Plus your opponent attacks me, I flip that, say goodbye. Then we got 1 Spirit Reaper. I run 2 if I had to, but I only have 1. But so far, the 1 Spirit Reaper has helped me out a lot. Now we're moving on to Tour Guide. Hey, what's up? It's Tour Guide. People be like, hello, konnichiwa, blah, blah. Anyway, yeah, instant 3 at sea summoning. These beautiful ladies work well with almost any deck. It's a good staple. Now we're moving on to level 4s. We got Summoner Monk. Got 1 Ultra, 1 Common right here. Gonna switch to 2 Ultra when I get them. And there's your instant, play that, top, get a Debris Dragon for at sea summoning, whatever works. Now I remember in my last Chaos deck I had 2 DD Warrior Ladies. I switched it up to 1 Kaiku and 1 DD Warrior. That way I can keep some dark variants and then a DD Warrior Lady for the Rhoda Search Power, plus removal, blah, blah. Now this card's just evil, because of the fact, screw your Spellbook of Fates, I'm going to play this card. Screw your E-Dragon's removal, I'm going to play this card. Get some crap out of here. Goodbye. The Thunder King Raiho. It's Thunder King Raiho, people. Look at this stuff. Look at this. Smetsy 2. I heard a lot of things about people wanting them back at 3. I prefer 2, but I would run 3 if it were possible again. And now we've got Photon Thrasher. We got the Mosaic Rare from the Battle Pack that I just got out of a trade, and the rare from the actual booster pack itself, the Order of Chaos. Now, preferably over Cyber Dragon, as always. I prefer to have these over Cyber Dragon. You have no monsters, special summon, easy rank 4 at seas. Thunder King just stops all adding cards, hands, and all that. Now we've got Cyber Dragon, St. Truesdale's favorite card and famous. Still widely played. I play it, just in case. Easy at sea, easy synchro summons, impossible at seas, depending on what goes on. I remember having two. I'm now using 2 Caiuses, the Shadow Monarchs, and a Chaos Sorcerer. You always gotta have Chaos. But you got 2 Caiuses in this deck. With so many special summons and adding in search power, this allows me to utilize these cards to their greatest advantage. And since Draco Sat can't be destroyed, Caius is gonna just remove it for me. Gores. Hand trap. Beautiful. Beautiful hand trap. You want to face a burn deck and I'll have nothing on the field, I'll summon that. You take the same amount of damage. BLS. Heard it might get banned. I hope it doesn't until the Twilight one comes out. Blackluster, Soldier, Envoy of Twilight. If this gets banned before that, I am going to lose my freaking mind. Now on to spells. We got our 4 staples right here. We got Dark Hole, destroy all monsters. Heavy Storm, destroy all spells and traps. Everyone's main decking at least Heavy Storm. Mind Control. Yeah, I'm going to steal your monster, and I'm going to use your Big Eye or Draco Sax effect and fuck you over. That's what I did one duel. That's how I killed E-Dragons one time. Monster Reborn, more cards, more synchros, more at seas, more fusions. Rota! Reinforcements of the army. Photon Thrasher, DD Warrior Lady, you know the drill. Now, the reason I took out the 2 potted dualities and I'm running 3 Upstart Goblins. I'm running 3 of those here. Now, people will say, why not potted duality? It's so much better. Well, since this deck is based around trying to get out monsters with special summons like that, and that, this card has its ups and downs. I use it because this will make my deck a 37 card deck. Instant draw power. My opponent gains 3,000, whatever. And plus, it's instant spells for the Summoner Monk, since the deck is mainly spells. Now we've got 3 MSTs. Everyone main decks either 3 or 2. You know what? I'm going to say this right now. I have seen MSTs, and I love them. I have about 40 different copies of them. I can't get rid of them. We got our 2 compulsionary evacuation devices. So that way I can get rid of Xyz monsters and get rid of most of the greater format of metas. You summon something big and powerful, I'm going to play that, return to your hand, hope to God it doesn't get brought back for a while. We got 2D prisons. 2D prisons. You're going to attack me, I'm going to remove that sucker and say goodbye. Most of the monsters can get rid of this because of the fact they're, okay, I'll drop this or I'll use this monster effect, pop it, so it's pretty much gone. It is replaceable, but I'm keeping it at the moment. As for those who use Black Rose Dragon, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, the main decks or Starlight Road, on top of that, finally getting it, Starlight Road, then you're going to be playing decks that are probably like I've seen my friend use the Sit Sam Strike. Strike to Sit Sams or whatever that spell card was. Anyway, that card is to prevent all those. We're running 2 Torrentials in this deck now. Now, these might not be touched in the next formats. If Konami's going to be promoting E-Dragons and Prophecies more, they're probably going to get slapped on the wrist a bit, so I'm going to keep those at 2, possibly. Moving on to side deck profiles. We got my 3 Fossil Dynas. Now this is meant to stop my opponent's special summonings. If I can turn 1 Thunder King and possible Summoner Monk turn 2 for Fossil Dyna, that would work fantastically. We got my Necroface here. Nobody really uses him anymore, but I prefer to use him at 1 because he can only be used at 1, and that's all I'll use, man. We got my 2 Trags in my side deck here. Tragers, Trag. Some troll monsters. And traps, goodbye. Now for the final part of my side deck, we have 2 macros. There you go, there's my Necroface combo there. Except I'm missing 2 gold Sarkos. The only spell cards I would love to have in this deck. We got Mind Drain. I'm going to run 2 of these if I get a second one. We run Skill Drain. I've seen a few people use these cards. It's double-edged sword. It's better than Doomcal in my deck at the moment. Soul Drain. Your cards are in your graveyard. Goodbye. Those are their effects. Goodbye Dark Worlds. Goodbye. Yeah, pretty much goodbye Dark Worlds are my only main problem. Mermals aren't too bad. E-Dragons, yeah, this is good against them, but I don't find too many of those. Solemn Judgment. Now, people are going to ask me this. Why side Solemn Judgment? It is such a good card. bull. I've seen this card played. It is a complete lopsided card. People say, yeah, it's good. It's good for the one card if you're already in the lead, and it will save you. But paying half your life points just to negate one card is a double-edged sword, because that puts you at just almost as much of a disadvantage, if not more. So, side decking 2 Mirror Forces. I side deck 2 Mirror Forces because unless Mirror Force sits back at 3, which I'm doubtful, but I've heard people say, hey, we want Mirror Force, Thunder King Ryo, Summoner Monk, a bunch of the other cards at 3. Mirror Force I could possibly see at 3, since there are more and more monsters are being able to be searched through the decks. I have to tell you, Mirror Force would be perfect at 3, but so many people would be pissed. I know so many of my friends would be upset, be like, why not Monster Reborn at 2 then, and blah blah blah. Anyway, extra deck, we got Chimera Tech, Karkuris, E-Dragon Draco Sack, goodbye. We got my Defending Zen Mines. Plus, it also helps with summoning Chimera Tech's effects if I have no overlay units on it, and my opponent has a Cyber Dragon. Luvier, I am definitely going to replace him. He is not as good as I had hoped. Hoping it will work out eventually with him in the next sneak peek. But I will most likely be replacing him for a number 50 or a number 44 when the number hunters come out. Number 20, you get your Brilliance. Yes, there's my light fodder with Tour Guide. Tour Guide. Acid Golem. A lot of people run him. They also run number 17. They are both excellent cards. I like Acid Golem because, okay, I'll hit him with a 3000 beat stick, detach one of my materials, and just take 2000 until I have to get rid of him. Basically, Dark Hole, blah, 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 cards that help. Maestroke. This card is still a good and highly popular, but him and my other card, Pappy Operative, I may replace them. I am not entirely sure. They're good at their standpoints, but I may replace them, depending on how this sneak peek goes. Everybody loves this. Number 16, Derp Master. Shockmaster. Sorry, Derp Master, Shockmaster, all the same. Only turn 1 on this guy. Unless you know the person's deck, you're kind of screwed. Facing against the Mermaid deck, I was able to kill OTK him with it. Well, not OTK him, but you know what I mean. We got my Utopia. We got Chaos Utopia. I have Utopia 1 now because, you know what, Utopia 2 kind of slowed the deck down. I like Chaos Utopia at 3. Chaos Utopia at that. Photon Strike Bouncer with level 6 monsters. Here we got Photons. Photon. Now we're going to swap that back up. Oh, here he is. Number 32, Shark Drake. Now I replaced my Evil Swarm Ouroboros because I actually sold him. Got $30 off of him from a kid. It's actually pretty generous of him to do that. This basically helps me with the level 3 at seas. Plus, with the only costing 3 at seas monster being Shockmaster, it would kind of slow the deck down if we didn't have something like Shark Drake or whatever for Photon and blah blah blah. Replacing Ancient Fairy Dragon at the moment, she is going to be a staple because I am definitely going to replace her for a Black Rose Dragon. Some of you are going to be thinking like, how is it that Ancient Fairy Dragon could do that? Well, people with short-term memory, here we go. We got Debris Dragons summoning out Night Assailant or Spirit Reaper. But how do we get the other cards? Like my other 2 staples. We have Stardust Dragon and Scrap Dragon. How do we get those? Starlight Road is mainly for Stardust Dragon. If Stardust Dragon is not able to be summoned through Starlight Road, then it's kind of Scrap Dragon's job. How do we get Scrap Dragon? Yes, how is it we get Scrap Dragon? Let me show you. We got multiple combos. We got Gores, and a Gores token, or just Gores in general, with a Fetch Veiler Synchro. We've got Debris Dragon, Night Assailant, Synchro. Ancient Fairy. Ancient Fairy effect, special, Synchro.